Heavy on the unresolved trauma. Stop having kids without looking inward. This is why y'all fucking up. Okay? You cannot just expect to just be in that baby fever era like forever. Like, you have to understand that they're gonna grow. And that's the thing, is that y'all be wanting babies, bro. Y'all don't want kids. Y'all don't, and there actually is a video that I did find of a person talking about that concept of like people wanting that baby, that fresh cuteness, but nobody wants that, 15-year-old teenager with hormones, and then they, mad as fuck walking around angry and shit. And you like, bitch, I provide for your ass. What the fuck are you mad at? Why are you mad, bitch? Like, and then you over here like, damn, I'm doing my best, and you over here walking around angry. Ain't nobody want that. Y'all just want the little cuteness, and that's not right. Do what you want to do. And if that is being a mother, be a mother. No drama. Like, what are we doing? Do you really give a fuck that much about your future kids if you're not really doing the best that you can to make yourself a well-rounded human being and better yourself as a person? Like I said, stop having kids, but you guys don't want to do the work on yourself to make sure that you're not, harming your child's brain. That's all. All right, nah. If I'm not as like, hype and stuff compared to my other videos, I think I'm sick, y'all. Like, my throat really do hurt. So I just have some like, it's really just my tea and a dream at this point. That's how I'm surviving. I got my little Dayquil and stuff, but it don't really seem to be doing much. So we just having some tea and some coconut oil, and we gonna see what happens. But so if I don't seem like myself, it's like I'm okay, but like I'm also not okay. But anyways, I'm pushing through because what the fuck, I'm not gonna film just because I'm sick. Like, the show must go on. Like, I must feed y'all. Like, come on. But anyways, so hope y'all week is going well. Today is what, Tuesday. So I hope your week is going well, off to a good start. We got a really crazy, kind of like spicy topic for this week, and I feel like it's gonna cause a lot of discourse, kind of like how the medium ugly epidemic video that I made. I feel like there was a lot of discourse in the comments, and like people just having like contrasting opinions, or like just different takes. And I loved reading all the comments, like for real. Like, let's discuss for real. I love having discussions and shit about these like just crazy ass topics. But so for this week, I thought I'd spice it up a little bit more. And all right, let me just get into it, because I'm over here doing too much of this. I'm doing way too much of this for real. But nah, so for this week's video, okay, little backstory. I've been seeing a lot of people on like my For You page on TikTok, just talking about parenthood versus child free. And like, I'll see videos about, adults that like don't regret being parents, and adults that, do regret being parents. Or maybe they don't fully regret it, but they also just don't recommend, and they don't think that you need to be, they're never going to push parenthood on somebody else because it's not like essential. And there are some people that do feel like it's essential, and there's people that feel like, we are literally we're born to do this shit, specifically like women are born to do this shit. And it's like, gang, like, what are we doing? What are we talking about? I have my own views on it and stuff, but I figured, you know what? Let's kind of deep dive and look into some of these videos that I found interesting, and we can kind of just like, react and just kind of talk about it. Because I feel like this is a very like controversial topic, but that's why it's fun to talk about. Like, come on, like, what are we talking about? All right, so let's go ahead and watch the first video and see, how we can start the discourse. And yeah, because I do want to tell y'all my opinion on it, but I'd rather just wait till the end after we digested all the shit, because this shit gets spicy as fuck, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. But all right, let's, and I tried my best to find decent videos that were explaining both parts, so just bear with me for real. My throat hurts, y'all. Oh my God.
Think you have kids?
I'm not having kids.
What you mean you're not having kids?
I'm not having kids.
That's what you was born there to do.
No, I'm not.
Why would you not want to have kids?
Why would I?
I'm asking you.
Why don't I want to have kids? I don't see any benefit.
For giving somebody life?
You have a kid and your life becomes about the kid. I want my life to be about me.
Oh, you selfish.
That's okay.
This conversation is so stupid. Why do these guys get personally offended when a woman who has nothing to do with them doesn't want kids? That's insane to me. Ain't got shit to do with you, but you over here offended because she don't want to have kids. Shannon Sharp was acting like this too. That shit is weird. Telling women that their purpose on earth is to have babies is also fucking weird. Imagine telling your daughter this shit. You don't see the benefit in giving life. Life not even all that.
Life really ain't all that. I mean, there's a lot of beautiful stuff in life, you know what I'm saying? Not trying to be all negative and shit. But yeah, I was taken aback when I saw that clip. I actually saw that clip like originally by myself scrolling, and then I could never find that shit. And then luckily I found that shit again, because I genuinely thought that was baffling on how it's weird how there's certain men that will get offended when women say, "Oh, I'm not trying to have kids. Like it's just not for me. Like I just genuinely don't want to." And it's like, you saw how offended bro got, and it's the fact that he said that's what she was put on the earth to do. It's just all the reason that y'all like, a lot of people just want to plant the seed, but they don't want to see the seed grow, if you know what I mean. That was baffling. And I could say more, but you know what I'm saying? I'm trying not to get my video taken down. So let's just let's just keep going with the next video.
I would love to shame those that are child free, talking about it is not a flex to not want kids or not have kids. Ooh, I beg to differ. It's a huge flex being self-aware, to think things through on a logical lens before you bring a kid into this capitalistic society. Misery really loves company, and a lot of these parents just want you to suffer. They like, if I had to work a job that I hate, so do you. So I'm gonna bring you into this existence to suffer with me. Just because you can procreate doesn't mean you should. A lot of these kids never asked to be in this dysfunctional household with you. But unfortunately, y'all have kids out of boredom. Just because you can, just because you are horny, just because it is the adult thing to do, doesn't mean it's the brightest thing to do. Love to shame those that are
Oh boy. I see where she's coming from 1000%. This shit gets sticky, bro. I'm telling you. I'm really heavy on the fact that, like, just because we can doesn't mean like we should. Like, cause like, all right, hold on, let me get my thoughts together type shit. Like, oh my God, hold on, I'm nervous. I don't wanna offend nobody, but I also, it's like, she has a point. Like, she has a point. Like, it is a huge flex being able to make the conscious decision to be like, listen, I don't want kids for this reason. I'm not financially stable enough. I'm not mentally there. I honestly just don't have a maternal instinct in my body. Like, maybe I do for animals, but for a human being, like, humans are just so much different than taking care of like a little dog. And that's what I fear is motherfuckers' issue, is that people will literally be like, oh, you know, if you could take care of this and you could take care of a whole human, it's just like, it's a whole different ball game, bro. And also too, to bring in religion, it's kind of like, just because, you know, the script that you follow tells you that you should do this, you know, that's, where's the individualism? Like, where's the individuality? You know what I'm saying? Like, think for yourself. Don't do things because somebody else from BC told you. You know what I'm saying? Like, think now. Think about what's best for you and your lifestyle. Does a kid even fit in your lifestyle? You know, she's not wrong. And there's no reason to kind of bash somebody for not wanting to have that type of like lifestyle with hauling your kids around and, you know, all that shit. I don't know. I see where she's coming from. But let's go ahead and let's look at a video of a woman that, you know, does actually not regret having kids, and she actually loves being a mom. So let's look at this.
Being a mom is not that hard. The circumstances that you are in have made it hard. I've been a mom for just under 8 years, and I've had conversations with moms from all different backgrounds, and a lot of them say the same thing. I hate being a mom, I hate motherhood, or some of them just say I regret having the baby altogether. Now, does being a mom sometimes suck? Yes. Does it have challenges? Yes. But it is not the most difficult or challenging thing that I've ever experienced in my life. I'm sorry, but it's just not. I find this to be more common in moms that have really, really young children, multiple children, or they just had a baby. For me personally, I always wanted to be a mom, but I was okay if it didn't happen. I don't see my children as my greatest accomplishment or my sole purpose in life. I don't think that's all I was put here to do. Some of the more common reasons that I've heard is, number one, they had too many kids. I don't know if you guys have ever heard that saying, like, don't have more kids than you can take care of on your own. A lot of women might take that to mean if your partner leaves you, but I take it to mean if my partner leaves me, if I want to leave my partner, or God forbid my partner gets sick or passes away, I need to make sure that I can take care of these babies by myself. Sometimes you just had too many damn kids. I mean, there's nothing you can do now, but I'm just saying, maybe you had too many. Second reason would be that they had children too young. I am a huge advocate for women waiting to have children. If you're under the age of 25 and you don't have kids, please wait. Travel, get your career started, move across the country. Do what you have to do before you decide that you want to have kids. Not to say that you can't do those things once you have a baby. However, it is going to be harder because now every decision you make has to benefit your child. The third reason would be that they've romanticized motherhood. Just wanting a baby is not going to be enough to get you through the lows of motherhood because you will encounter them. Like I said, it's been almost 8 years for me. I am a more capable parent to an 8-year-old or a 7-year-old than I am to a newborn. You are going to go through shit, and just wanting a baby because they're cute is not good enough. Same way that love is not enough to sustain a marriage, just wanting a baby is not enough to sustain you through motherhood. You're going to need more than that. You never know if your child's going to have special needs or how postpartum is going to affect you, so don't go into motherhood with any expectations. And the last reason would be that they have no support, they have no partner to do it with. Having just a man in attendance is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a true partner that not only helps you with the children, but also takes over some of the mental load for you. This was a huge contributing factor to why motherhood has become so easy for me.
That one was getting a little lengthy, but I mean, she does have a point. She does. Like, it takes a really good partner to make sure that, like, you know, you're not doing that shit alone, because the thing is that I feel maybe women have such a hard time with, like, wrapping their heads around being a, you know, a wife and a mother, is because maybe that, you know, the dating pool is buns, and like they're truly worried about finding the right person to, like, you know, lay down with, to actually do the damn thing and, like, you know, procreate. How the fuck you gonna want to procreate when it's like bro can't even hit your line, bro leaving you on red and shit? Like, how are people even gonna want to do this? So I can understand why women are like, that's a thing where they're like, how the hell am I supposed to even, like, do this if I don't even have, like, a good sustainable, like, partner, I guess. And also too, you know, having multiple kids is also where y'all low-key fuck up, because it's like, bro, I would low-key have a heart attack if I have 4 kids. What are we doing? Why is one not enough? Oh, the other one's gonna be alone. Who said that? And I get it that there's a little bit of there's only child syndrome. I feel like I have a little bit of it, but I'm not a fucking asshole. You know what I'm saying? I'm a good human being. And I do think that, you know, having a sibling is great. So I mean, I can understand that. But like, if you do have one child, one and done, ain't nothing wrong with a one and done. It makes it even 10 times easier, because you don't even have to, like, schedule different times for different kids. You can just know that my kid, my son or my daughter, whatever, has a recital at 1 p.m. and you tell your partner, like, we got to be there. It's like a lot easier than having like three plus kids. It really is. So yeah, I get that type of, that thing. But also too, like she said, you cannot just expect to just be in that baby fever era like forever. Like, you have to understand that they're gonna grow. And that's the thing, is that y'all be wanting babies, bro. Y'all don't want kids. Y'all don't. And there actually is a video that I did find of a person talking about that concept of, like, people wanting that baby, that fresh cuteness, but nobody wants that, 15-year-old teenager with hormones, and then they, mad as fuck, walking around angry and shit. And you like, bitch, I provide for your ass. What the fuck are you mad at? Why are you mad, bitch? Like, and then you over here like, damn, I'm doing my best, and you over here walking around angry. Ain't nobody want that. Y'all just want the little cuteness, and that's not right. Things are just going to evolve too. Like, you are gonna be a better parent as your kid ages. So like she says, she's better off being a parent to, I think she said, like a 7-8 year old rather than a newborn. So parenting is not just like parenting a baby and like a little kid. Like, you're gonna literally evolve as a parent, and you're probably not even gonna see that. And it's just a whole different ball game. So you're just like wearing a bunch of hats at once, and you're basically just like kind of like shape shifting, basically. So it's like, it's a lot harder than it looks, but I mean, she's saying like, hey, she's evolved as a parent, and you know, she's comfortable with her life and she loves her life, and so there is some positive in it. Let's go ahead and let's look at that video about how I told y'all how y'all just want babies and shit and not kids. Let's look at that hot take.
There are a lot of people who want kids, but they don't want to be parents. And she was like, you never wanted kids? I'm like, it's not that I never wanted kids. The older I get, the more I realize, like, there aren't too many people that I feel like worth giving children to. And a lot of y'all like the idea of being parents and like having your little mini-me and dressing them up and being all cute or whatever. You don't want to be a parent when they're fucking 16. You don't want to be a parent when they're 18. You don't want to be a parent when they're 25 buying their first home and they need some earnest money.
I don't necessarily think it's always that they don't want to be a parent. I don't think people really understand
what being
a parent really means and all that it entails and all the self-control you have to do and all the work you have to do on yourself before you can really be a well-rounded individual to be able to teach somebody else to be a well-rounded individual. A lot of people have a lot of unresolved trauma, and if you're not looking into the things that happened to you that have kind of created the steps for you and made you the way that you are, then you can't possibly avoid passing some of those things down.
Heavy on the unresolved trauma. Stop having kids without looking inward. This is why y'all fucking up. Okay? But if you actually look within and actually realize and are as mature as those women are, to be like, yo, I am mentally not stable enough I'm not well-rounded enough as an adult to be then trying to teach a little innocent kid, child baby, to be a well-rounded adult. How that work? You have so much childhood trauma, and then you just gonna pop out a kid and expect them to be a well-rounded individual? Is that what are we doing? You can put so much work into yourself and, be like, okay, I went to therapy. I am financially stable. I looked at all the things that my parents did to me and like how did I respond and what still sticks with me and all that shit. You can do all that. And if you actually have done all that and then became a parent, you're probably thriving right now, honestly. Because the thing is like, you told yourself, okay, I don't want just a baby to then just be cute with. And then, the minute that the baby gets me pissed and shit, that's when all the ugly starts coming out. You know what I'm saying? And then when they start growing up and you start remembering things your age, and then you're just projecting things onto them, that can either be good or bad. It can't just be a bundle of cuteness. It really ain't about that. It really ain't. Heavy on the fact of, when they turn like 15, 16, 18, even 25, parenting doesn't stop. It never stops. It literally, once you have a kid, I firmly believe, and I'm not a parent yet, but I do have both parents, and I don't know what it is with my frontal lobe and shit, but I've realized through them and through other parents that it never stops. Your brain is always forever going to be in that mode. So if you find that to be scary, then parenting is not for you. Like, not that it can't be, but if you're really like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be stressed out. I don't want to feel like heartbreak every time my kid blows out a birthday candle. I don't want to feel like scared every time my kid is not in my possession and leaves the house. Like all these things, like these are things that parents willingly sign up for. And kudos to good parents out there that they genuinely give a fuck that much. But my argument is like, do you really give a fuck that much about your future kids if you're not really doing the best that you can to make yourself a well-rounded human being and better yourself as a person? Like I said, stop having kids, but you guys don't want to do the work on yourself to make sure that you're not, harming your child's brain. That's all. All right, this is the last video. Let's check it out.
Hi, I'm Tiara. I'm 35. I've never been married and I don't have any kids. And when people would ask my mom when Tiara was going to settle down and have kids, my mom would always say, Tiara's probably not going to settle down or have kids because she is selfish. I always wanted to establish who I was as an individual, as a person, figure out what I like and what I wanted to do before bringing someone into the world to help them do that. Like, no. I wanted to make sure that I was financially able. I wanted to make sure that I was financially stable, mentally prepared to be a partner and a parent for doing those things so I didn't mess it up. Because if you think about it, at the end of the day, finding a man and having a kid is not that hard. People like to say, like, kids are gifts, they're the greatest thing in the world. And I believe you, honestly do believe you. So why would you then give this gift to someone who is so undeserving? Why would you bring a kid into the world with someone who does not want them? And then they have to go through the world knowing that in the back of their mind. I did not want that.
Tiara, you just spoke facts. Damn ham. I think that something that gets misconstrued is, women specifically, if you don't want to have kids, you're selfish. I don't even think that it's a selfish thing. Actually, I'm going to talk about women because we don't want to hold in the babies. So yeah, like, it's not selfish. Stop telling your daughters that they're selfish. Stop telling your friends that they're selfish for not wanting to have children. We got to stop that. If Tiara, for example, wants to focus on her career and she wants to travel when she has other aspirations that don't warp around the societal norm of like, okay, you need to have kids by this age, your biological clock is running out, blah, 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 then let Tiara be. Let Tiara, while you're, breastfeeding at 25, Tiara want to be in Rome, Italy by 25. Like, there's no right or wrong way. And that's kind of what I'm trying to say is like, instead of like, I didn't want to come on this video and just like pick a side and shit and like bash one side. But it just, for me, there really is no selfish or selfless. You should not be looked down upon as a woman if you do not want to procreate because a script told you to, because your mom told you to, because your family, your friends told you to, your spouse is telling you to. Don't do that. If the spouse want to go ahead and do that, they could be with somebody else. Do not be forced to have a child, because the thing is like, it's the whole thing of like, you're never going to be ready. Like, I genuinely feel like you're never going to be ready. You don't know what to expect. So please stop. As a collective, we should stop acting like this is just a normal, easy nature type of thing, where it's like, this is more complex. And this is why a lot of teens and just people this is why we all have a lot of trauma. Because our parents and our parents before us were just popping out babies and they don't even know what the hell they were just popping them out, bro. But they didn't know what was going on in here. They didn't even know what fucking depression was. They didn't know what anxiety was. They didn't know what mental health was. They didn't even know what projecting trauma is, bro. I find myself talking about that and educating my people about that. Don't let those people from those generations who lack the knowledge try to school you on what you should be doing as a woman and that the clock is ticking. No, girl, this is your life. Do what you want to do. And if that is being a mother, be a mother. No drama. Like, what are we doing? Be a mom. Get them. They got some cool ass strollers and shit nowadays. They got a bunch of shit that, mothers didn't have back in the day. Have at it, bro. But just know, It's not going to be easy. It's not the bundle of cuteness forever. It's not like, also too, you finding a good partner to really step into that role with is huge. Please look into that for real, and look at the people that you're giving these children to. Like, I don't know, I just feel like it's super important, and especially with pregnancy is such a vulnerable state to be in. And if you don't have a partner that's really trying to help you out through these times, what do you have? What do you really have for real? It just gets to be very lonely, it seems. And it could be a very scary thing, especially postpartum. There's just a lot of things. And I actually was learning from one of my friend of mine who, she just had a baby. She's having another baby. And there's a lot of things to know. And if you don't know, then you're going to be left in the dark. And what am I trying to get at here, guys? I feel like I'm just, you know what I'm saying? It's the sick brain. I'm just sick. Think before you have kids. Like, genuinely. Are you actually ready? Do you know what it takes? I truly believe that in a perfect world, there should be like a course or something, or some type of education that you got to take. I mean, there are educational courses that you could take, but I just feel so often that people really don't understand the impact of the mental health part, and they just pop out kids. And ironically, I guess I'll say this to end the video. Ironically, I do feel that the people that kind of think, I guess the way that I'm kind of thinking, where we're very self-aware on how much and what it takes to be a parent, ironically, we would make a great parent because we are saying all these things and we know these things. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to regret what I didn't have in the first place. Don't let anybody tell you that you're going to regret shit. If something down the line 10 years from now, if you want to pick up that shit, then pick it up and start doing research and but damn, y'all, I'm just rambling at this point. I told y'all to, like, please bear with me because I don't know. I just don't feel really well. But I hope that y'all took something from this video. And, I know that for me, I'm not a parent. I don't know what it's like to be a parent. But I felt like it was such a thing that it was something that I should talk about, because I feel like it's getting out of hand where, oh, you're selfish, or, oh, these women are selfless, like you should aspire to be like them. I just think it should be more of like a unity thing and more of like an understanding of like, you don't want children, that doesn't make you heartless. Like, and you being a mother doesn't make you feel, you being a mother doesn't make you a sheep. It doesn't make you weak or anything like that. It's all love. I just love women, like, oh my God, give me a hug, hey, chill. But yeah, I hope this video, don't cancel me, y'all. I'm just trying to bring something to the table. But I would love if we could talk about this in the comments, you know what I'm saying? Do you plan to have kids? Do you plan not to have kids? And let's just be respectful to one another. It's really it's not that big a deal. It really isn't. But all right, y'all, I'll see you in the next archive. Hopefully I'm feeling better. And yeah, I'll bring some more energy next time, I promise. But all right, bye.